In today's video, we're going to talk about the 3 methods to fill your calendar with affluent coaching clients who have money. Now, the first one isn't very good, but it is a method, and so I want to share it with you. The second one is okay, and the third one is the one that I would use and the one that I use. Now, here's the biggest problem. Most coaches are using strategies that don't work anymore, that used to work 4 or 5 years ago, or that are costing them a lot of time and are very hard. So the first one is increase your organic output so that you can get more free clients. Okay, this is one a lot of coaches use to around that $5,000 to $10,000 a month range, and the problem with it is you can't scale it. It's virtually impossible unless you're an A-list celebrity to scale your organic content. Here's why. The first reason why it's so hard to scale organic is because the AI is working against you. Okay, you see, what I mean by that is simply this. When you create a piece of content, or when I create a piece of content, let's say we're both in the same market and you have 20,000 followers on, let's say, Instagram. Okay, I have 500. We both create the same quality level of content. Who do you think is going to get the most reach on their content? You, because you have the most followers, and you're going to get the most like shares and most comments and all that kind of stuff. So the AI is going to go, oh, well, we'll give you more reach. My reach is going to be very low. So for example, your reach, what that means is on social media, it's what the percentage of your followers your content goes to. Right now, in the average Facebook group, so I have a Facebook group with about 1,500, 1,300 people in it or something like that, and it's got an average reach of about 2%. Okay, 2%. On average, you post on Facebook or something like that, you might get 1, 2, 3, 4%, or across the board. That's how bad the reach is right now. And so what's happening is people who have tons of followers and engagement, those are the ones who get seen the most. They'll get like a 10% reach. People who have little amounts of followers get the least amount of reach. So if you're just trying to like hustle and create lots of content and you have no followers, you have very few followers, you are literally up against, everything is going against you. Okay, because not only do you not have a lot of followers, the algorithms are not going to show your stuff as much. It's just the way it is because they need to use social actions. If you get one person likes your post, even though it's the most amazing post and it could be like the greatest post ever, and somebody else gets 1,000, the AI doesn't have like a human factor. It's like, oh, your post is better, so we're going to show yours more. This doesn't do that. Okay. Now, there are some sources like TikTok where you can go viral, but it's also the lowest quality traffic. So just because you can get a lot of leads or a lot of people viewing your stuff doesn't mean it works. So that's the first strategy. I would not recommend it. The second way that works to get high ticket clients at scale is a lead magnet funnel. Okay. And what a lot of coaches are doing now is they're moving to these lead magnet funnels. I don't like them at all. And I don't think they work. And here, very well. Here's what they do. What a lot of coaches will do is they will run an ad on Instagram ads or Facebook ads. They'll run it and they will get people to sign up for a free ebook, a free report, or something like that. Now, that sounds really good. And you can get really cheap leads off that. You can, get a couple dollar leads. And it's like, wow, look at all these leads I'm getting. They're leaving phone numbers. Here's the problem. What's happening is when they're registering for your lead magnet, they're not consuming what you gave them. Oh, very few of them, maybe 10%. Okay. I know this for a fact. We had a lead magnet that it was to a video, and the video link was broken, and it took probably 1,000 people to register before somebody told us the link to the video was broken. We moved it in somebody on my team moved the video to a different folder, and it wrecked it. And so we fixed it, obviously. It was a free report and we fixed it and gave it to them. But it literally took 1,000 people to tell me that before somebody actually engaged in it. Think about that for a second. 1 in 1,000, all right? Even if your organic outreach is 10%, your consumption rate is 10%. That's horrible. So that means if you get 100 registrations, only 10% of them are going to engage with you. 10%. Think about that for a second. So that's my concern, is that it is super low engagement and you're not going to get a lot of people wanting to work with you. Now, the problem is you will book calls. Okay, if you take them from to a lead magnet, you put like, "Hey, book a call," below the lead magnet or something like that, below your video or your Google Doc or whatever you give them, you will book calls. Here's the problem, though: the people who book have no consumption of your stuff. And so they're going to book with you, and two or three things are going to happen. Number one, your no show rate's going to be super high, probably 50%. Number two, you're going to get on calls with people who are going to be like, "Tell me again who you are. What, remind me. You know, I get a lot of calls. So who are you again? Oh, I'm the person who sent you this. You watch this. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, 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 yeah." And they're going to be polite, and they're going to listen to what you say, and they're not going to move forward. The third group of people are going to be, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, 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 I remember that." And then they're going to be like, "Well, you know what? The only thing I know about you is something I read, so I can't give you $5,000. Like, you can't expect me to do that on a call like this when the only thing I got is a two-page PDF report. I don't know anything about you," right? So you're going to get a lot of those. And so what you got to do is understand this model is terrible for getting high ticket clients, okay? It's cheap leads, but terrible for getting high ticket clients. Now, the third way is the one that I would recommend you use. It works really well, especially in niche markets where this model is not oversaturated. So before we get to that, I'd like you to try or do one thing: hit the subscribe button. Just subscribe to this video. And what that's going to do is going to give you all my upcoming videos, because I'm creating a ton of content. We always have stuff in production. And the reason why is I spent almost 3 million over the last few years on Facebook ads alone, okay, getting clients. And what we do is I take everything I learn on Facebook and what's working on ads and strategies and funnels and all that, sales calls, and teach it here on YouTube for free. So it doesn't cost you anything. And the cool thing is, one of the videos or some of them that are coming down the pipeline might be the exact video you need to change your business like that. It's totally free. So hit subscribe. You're going to see some of them show up in your news feed, and hopefully they're helpful. All right, the third funnel that I would recommend you start using now in order to get affluent coaching clients who have money is a proper high ticket webinar funnel. Okay. And it's not used a ton. And the nice thing about it is in niche markets, like if you're a health coach, a mindset coach, a weight loss coach, a relationship coach, whatever, marriage coach, that kind of thing, very few people use them, and very few people use them effectively. Okay. And webinars still have a value to them, that when people register for your webinar, and you don't say it's live, you don't make it fake, you just say, "Hey, the webinar's starting in 15 minutes, and the software will take them on." My webinars average, after 30,000 subscribers, about 70% show up rate. 70%, okay? Most lead magnets are using a 30% rate. Okay, how in the world do I get a 70%? It's because it works. And so the nice thing about it is you get 70% of the people to engage with you. And you have a 45-minute presentation. So that means all these people are going to spend like 45 minutes with you and engage with you. You're going to build a relationship with them. You're going to share your knowledge. You're going to help them understand why they need to work with you. And you think about that. So when they book a call, who's more qualified? Somebody who books a call after showing up and watching a 45-minute presentation that has a ton of good value in it, or somebody who signed up for a free 2-page Google Doc, read one page, and books a call? Think about that. Who's going to move forward? It doesn't matter. So say they both have a net worth of 7 figures. They're both millionaires, all right? Doesn't matter, because just because they have money doesn't mean they want to give it to you. There's a reason they have money, because they're smart, okay? And which makes it even trickier. You've got to have a good value proposition. And the number one way is the relationship value. And so I highly recommend using that strategy above anything else. It's going to get you the best quality people. Now, the biggest mistake coaches make is they just unload their coaching program in the webinar and just dump a bunch of value on them and come to the end. And people are like, you got to be careful, because people are going to be like, "Whoa, this is a good webinar, but I got a 5-page to-do list of all the stuff you gave me, and I'll reach back out to you." Okay. So you don't want that. You have to make it so they end the webinar and they're like, "This was amazing. How do I work with you?" Versus giving them all this content that they're just got to go through it all, and they're never going to get back. All right. So make sure you do that. Now, here's the cool thing. I have one ready for you right now. I have a 300-word Facebook ads webinar that I've used to, make millions from over the years. And and I want to teach you the strategies of how this funnel and this system works. So what I want you to do is click the link in the description or the pinned comment, and I want you to register for my upcoming webinar. It's going to show you the 3 strategies to get clients using Facebook ads starting on a small budget, why AI has never been easier, and why Facebook can find these people for you, how it can help you be seen as the only option. It's an incredible webinar. It's going to talk about the biggest myths coaches are following, biggest mistakes, all the key learnings I've made spending millions of dollars on ads. So click the link and register for that webinar, and we will see you over there.